In the BL realm, I do reactions over at Femmes React. We have a YouTube and a Patreon page started by Edison. And then after he had that going for a while, he asked me to come over and do some reactions with him. And we started with Bad Buddy. And I just stuck around. And then also, starting last year, um, I have a Twitch presence that has been around for today. And so I just decided, you know what? Let me just host watch parties there for stuff that we're not watching on YouTube or on Patreon that like Edison is just not into. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch them anyway because though I help put out content, I'm still, like I said at the beginning, I'm a fan. So I want to watch it. So here's where my scholarly background comes in. And so I personally love definitions. BL for me is a particularly defined by certain spatial and temporal considerations. Um, because I was watching Western queer media for like since I was a baby queer. um, but particularly when I was down in was when I was living in Australia, I had gotten tired of Western media because the stuff that I was watching it was especially in the 2000s where you had the trope of shit was sad. Like being queer was sad, being gay was sad, and it's just tragic endings, and I was over it. And then my friend, lovely, lovely friend, lovely person, Tammy, he's Thai, and he was like, "Oh, watch this. This is Waterboy." So that was about 2016. No, yeah, 2016, I guess, when it came out and stuff like that. I loved it because first of all, it had a slower pacing. Second of all, it was long form storytelling. It was a different way of storytelling. And guess what? Nobody ended up dead or sad at the end. And so I started off with that, and I was like, oh my goodness, I want more. He was like, okay, here's so. I went from I think there was a group of them like Waterboy, Sodas, What the Duck, and these were types of stories that for me were disparately different than Western queer media, which was a little bit more sensational. I want to say it's more sensational, comparatively speaking. The advertisements and the BL. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Now,
Hashtag product placement. I love it.
now in the U.S. and the Western media, we have product placement, but it's like sneaky in there, we're drinking Coke and stuff like that. But in this, it's like it is so funny when they're just like, I gotta brush my teeth in the middle of this. I'm gonna kiss you, but
The product is its own character.
right. And I enjoy that because it's still fiction and it's still farcical and it injects unknowingly a little bit of levity into the situation. And honestly, sometimes, don't kill me, but for vice versa, some of the best scenes was when they were selling them lays. And it was just they were selling those chips, and it was just, and you know what? I want to buy a case of Ocean and I want to. I have. I may or may not have bought some of those chips, and so yeah, so it works. It's a jaded female ex because I don't know. It's just I guess that also, and this is just me thinking right now off the cuff. Maybe having that female ex there um, is also a representation of how usually when you have the female X and things like that, you don't really have a femme character, nor do you have a lesbian character out there. So, or as a friend or whatever, and things like that. So that's, I don't know. There's that needs to be toyed out a little bit more, but I can't do that right now because we have other questions. I'm like, girl, the best friend X is your is sometimes your greatest rooter. Like that's what I want to say. See, like ex girlfriend who's like she tells them and she's like, Queen, I know, go get your man. Because, oh, we know. So this is going to be contradictory.
Oh.
I said contradictory, not controversial. Contradictory in that I do not I'm not particularly drawn towards ships. I think sometimes that when people engage and view ships, they feel a sense of ownership over ships. So, like saying, like, okay, this configuration can only be that way. That's whatever. That being said, some of my favorite gifts are that are it's not even like a bunch of them. It's just Earth Mix and Off Gun. And for me, and I'm used to seeing Earth by himself, but then Earth Mix, it's just something about those two together because A Thousand Stars and then Cupid's Last Wish. It just all got me. And with Off Gun, it was just the theory of love. I liked it, and I liked the way that they told the story, but then also just positioned other and reference other movies inside of that and other movies that I've seen because I am kind of a cinephile. Also, while BL is like, oh, BL and is thought of as boy love, I think there's other things included under the umbrella. And so that's why I want to also include in one of my favorite ships, Milk Love. Um,
Always.
so
Always.
because the first time I saw Milk Love in Bad Bunny, and I was like, I actually cared more about that ship than the other one. I'm not too hard on characters because I'm situated because okay, they were that age and I was that fucking stupid at that age. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I know better. No, 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 no. You get experience by either watching other people or doing your dumb shit yourself, and um, so I would be none of them. No, because no, because through OnlyFriends, I was like, because for me, OnlyFriends, I saw myself in all of them. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I don't want to go back. Like I don't want to go back. Like those are. But if I have to, if you're trying to nail me down, it would be um either Shiro or no, it wouldn't be Shiro. It would be his partner in Kino Nana Tepete. What did you eat yesterday? because they have not only a stable relationship, also Shiro cooks for me, and and he cares about me, and it's like, ooh, different meals all the time, and also he allows Kenji to be who he is, and having a partner to allow me to be who I am no matter what and still love me and cook for me and all this other kind of stuff. I think that would be great. The majority of the series that I watch right now are for Femmes React. Femmes React. Um, those are like Edison chooses those and things like that. On the Twitch side, it's more of, will this be good? But then also I interact with people who come in. It's like, hey, let's watch this instead of that. A major factor, because I've watched a lot nowadays, is the length. I I it's all about length. The shortest series for me are more succinct storytelling, because you don't have 12 episodes. You have get in there, get out, do this, and that's it. We're gone. If you can't tell your story here, and so on Tuesdays on Twitch, I sometimes do a musical talk in BL, and I was trying to equate shorter series with the Purple Rain. The Purple Rain album is a short, quick album that doesn't, no wasted space and stuff like that. That's like a good BL. So I'm looking for Purple Rain and all BL.
Mm-hmm. No filler track.
No fillers. No, because sometimes I'm like, with some of the Thai ones, I'm like, this is a filler queen. Like this, this could be an email. Like,
this episode could have been a montage.
Right. I realized that as an outsider, I'm part of the out group. Viewership does not equate ownership, so I don't own it, and I have to understand that there are particular cultural things involved. Some of the beauty standards create a ceiling over what we can see and what we can't see, and what actors play with this. The closest thing that we have in the West is called colorism. Now, the thing about that is that this social phenomenon is domestically grown. And it's really about social status and things like that, if you've been working out in the field and all this other kind of stuff. But you're beautiful if you have light skin and all this other kind of stuff. And even was recently a tweet by one creator or whatever, it said that Earth could not play a certain role because he was too dark or whatever, and he could only play certain roles. And that's also why I shy away from that's why I shy towards, let me be positive, that's why I shy towards a lot of Filipino BLs, because there's not that there. And as long as you got that certain je ne sais quoi, you can be a star. Maybe also is because it's a smaller industry. But with an offshoot of that is also size. So I'm watching Cooking Crush, and right now there's a side couple. One of the side characters is Samsy, who is played by Dome. Now, every time Dome shows up, he's bigger than most of the cast and stuff like that, so he plays a comedic part. And I'm like, well, Samsi's there and then Metha is there. I think those two would be perfect together. Like them being a second side couple. And just because they are their mannerisms and stuff like that, and maybe later on they get to be, but like it would be great to see more diversity in bodies. But it's not to say like I never want to see a twinkle my eye screen again. No, I just want to see additional variety. So it's just additional variety. It's just additional stories. That's all. The llama that is running the Twitter page, the X page, is amazing because I love it when people have the social media um, engagement person for any brand is like not, they are so unserious, but that makes you want to engage with them more. And so with engagement on that level and not being serious, it allows people to like let down their hair and say like, you know what? It's actually a green flag for safe for space. So that's what um but that's what I've gotten from DramaLlama. But it's kind of unfair for you to ask me that because it hasn't launched yet. So I don't really know. Like, what,
That's okay. I'm just testing the
what,
waters.
what will your baby grow up to be? Grow up to be? I don't know. They haven't been born yet. For the first, especially when I got into it, the Sodas series. Now, the thing about Sodas is that it is of the time. If you're looking for sex and all this other kind of stuff, that's not your thing. But it showed how long the slow burn, and that's what I liked really about that the BL at the time period. Slow burn. Sodas came out, and it was like everything after it was like university and engineers and things like that. It was just a hit. Then for about the 2000s, I want to say the Game Boy season 1. But only because not only with Game Boy season 1, but also the Game Boy universe. Because Game Boy begot Game Boys 2, and then also Pearl Next Door, and then also Paw Thirsty. And that also was a series that was due to its time, and it was shot in a certain way. And then also I'm a Gamer and I stream and stuff like that. And that it just hit home. That was it. That was the thing. The third one, it was actually between Ensemble or What Would You actually no. What Would You Eat Yesterday? That series. And so the reason for that is because it's something that's just recently happened. But then also it shows that BL, I know that a lot of times people, BL is like, okay, the chase and stuff like that. But what happens afterwards? And What Did You Eat Yesterday in that universe shows you what happens afterwards. Also, it shows you that you can't be Peter Pan forever. You know, sometimes you got to grow up, get a job, do these things, have to face like, okay, what's left after that? And it's still fantasy because them boys have been together for 7 years and have stable jobs and stuff like that.
That's a fantasy.
So yeah, those are the three ones that are like from different time periods, but then also from different countries. Because BL is such a variety of things, I would have to talk with them and say, okay, what do you like? Because there's
Mhm.
some people who like really like action and sexiness and all this other kind of stuff, and like cars or whatever. I'd be like Pit Babe. If you like, like a slow burn or things like that, or like high school, I would say My School President, or so saying that one would be um, representative of the whole thing to get you snatched in. Like that BL is too big to say, like, to be like, oh, what is the one would you recommend? Because like I would do it. For me personally, I feel like I would do a disservice to BL. I do reactions on Edison's channel, the YouTube channel, and also the Patreon channel. I also run the X, formerly known as Twitter, page and engage over there. I also do watch parties every Tuesday and Wednesdays for BL. I'm probably going to be doing game. I have to rebrand the channel and just do it be gaming and BL. Because I still want to do gaming and stuff like that. And then also next year, I'm going to start trying to be on the panel stage again with getting going to conventions and things like that, doing proselytizing BL. Thanks for having someone like me who is just like just little old me, just like some rando,
Mhm.
just because I just talk about stuff. Doing proselytizing BL and and getting different content creators up on stage from Florida and other places
Oh,
to
you know Shaggy.
some people who have like already too much to watch. They can watch it on the plane and stuff like that. I'm sure that Spirit Airline has a little.
Look, don't come for me.
I'm just no, I know. No, I like me.
I mean, I agree. I've been pioneering and trying to champion for more body diversity in BL series because yes, I love me a good muscle daddy. I love me a cute little twink.
Mm.
But I love me a thick boy. I love me a belly. I love me some thick thighs save lives, and I am in constant need of mouth to thigh resuscitation. So I love to see all kinds of, bodies. People ask me, Topher, what's your type? I'm like breathing because like physically, I have just such diverse tastes in men. Breathing and yeah, that's pretty much it. So well, and don't be an asshole, but well, yeah, I agree.
I was originally going to say the trope I don't like is toxic boys. The trope that I like is toxic boys. But no, the trope. Yeah.
I didn't discover the glories of Waterboy until I think last year, when I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw this reel and it had all of these Thai actors that I'm familiar with now from other series, and I'm like, and I think I still have it saved on my phone. Potentially, I do. Um, and I was like, "Oh, there's Nui. Oh, there's Earth. Oh, there's Mound. Oh, what do you?" I'm like, "What is this?" I thought it was just like a fan made reel because it was just all these hot, wet, naked a half-naked men in Speedos coming out of a pool. I'm like, okay, this must be some, but then I saw them all together. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why has nobody told me about this? Where? So I still haven't watched it yet, but it is on my to-do list. It is
So
it's deliciousness.
Waterboy, it's not until I realize now, Waterboy has like BL royalty, like all those
Legit.
all of those people are still acting or still doing their own thing. And I'm like, wow, you know. So yeah, it's a good starting point, but then also yes, boys were there, and you have a young Earth, which is
I will take any Earth, but yes. Oh, Lord Jesus.
do you need a moment? You
All
need
right, it's not about me. I can catch my breath while you answer.
Feels like I've been watching for a long time, but I am so happy when people say, "Oh, I've been watching since." Somebody people like have been watching it before me. I'm like, "Oh yes, I feel like a baby," because I hate feeling like back in my day we didn't always get a kiss in every scene, hugging from the back. Eating Out series, which is I love that. It was just because it was. Oh my goodness, Eating Out series just didn't take itself seriously. So
I may or may not own all of them on DVD. Who knows?
Twinsies.
Hey guys, Topher here. So before you go, I want to remind you that if you're enjoying the content here on the DramaLlama YouTube channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. It helps the channel out immensely. Also, if you're looking for other ways to help DramaLlama, we currently have a Kickstarter campaign running from January 30th to March 1st. We're hoping to raise enough funds to cover the legal fees associated with bringing this app to life. We also have a Patreon, so any contributions you guys can make will greatly help us and will bring us one step closer to having the DramaLlama app at your fingertips. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for us, and I know we're going to get there with your help. See you in the next video.